Welcome to the 5M Talks, making middle management meaningfully mindful.
Hi guys, I'm Sunanda.
And hi, I'm Gautam, and welcome to the 5M Talks.
Where we talk about making middle management meaningfully mindful. What we're trying to do here is delve into the often overlooked world of the middle manager.
Using the quirky burger logo where the top bun represents the senior management and where the base represents our teams and the doers, we represent the juicy patty, the patty that strives to work towards betterment of the organization, that stitches the bun together, creates the juice, gets the spice, and really packs the punch.
While most podcasts focus on thought leadership from the top, here at 5M Talks, we center our conversations on the middle managers who are the unsung bridge of every organization.
This is our earnest attempt to bring that voice of the middle manager right into the forefront, and we'd love you to be part of this journey. So, come along.
Welcome to the second episode of 5M Podcast, where we discuss the challenges faced by middle managers and also discuss very simple, memorable, practical solutions or insights that you can immediately use. Hi, I'm Sunanda.
And hi, I'm Gautam. And welcome back to the 5M Talks. In our last episode, we spoke about the skill will matrix. And today we have another very interesting and relevant topic. And it's all about turbulence. And that's a topic that I believe every middle manager does encounter at some point in his career. Moments where everything around you shifts, be it technology, priorities, organizations, leadership, and our dear middle manager is literally in the middle.
Turbulences come from two directions, right? One external and sometimes internal, right? Let's talk first about the external turbulences, right?
Okay.
It can come in the form of market crashes, which happens very often. It can come in the form of new technologies. For example, today, Gen AI is taking the world by storm, right? And it's threatening to replace jobs, right? So it provides an opportunity, but it also threatens job opportunities, right? So that's another example. COVID was a typical example, right, of how we had to adapt, how we had to, confront something we had never seen before. So these are some of the external factors a manager may be confronted with, and he will have to wade through these and still continue his journey of, leadership. So let's discuss how we handle these external turbulences.
Sunanda, here's the key. It's how you respond during such turbulences really crafts your path, whether you're a survivor or you've actually crafted your path and propelled your career. It's very simple, but it requires a little bit of discipline and awareness. It's a simple, tactical, practical, at the same time, nurturing and uplifting framework. And it's all about turbo.
It's turbo, brother.
T. Track trends and stay ahead of the learning curve. U. Understand impact calmly and clearly. R. Respond proactively and constructively, not reactively. T. Track trends and stay ahead of the learning curve. U. Understand impact calmly and clearly. R. Respond proactively and constructively, not reactively. B. Build alliances for support and safety nets. O. Own your career narrative gracefully.
So, Turbo, I believe, Gautam, then it's about staying calm under pressure. And you have this toolkit that you can easily use when confronted with any pressure in the organization, whether externally influenced or internally influenced. You have the smart toolkit that will help you wade through this turbulence. Yeah.
So, guys, I think what we'll do to really explain our point across better, we'll take an actual example or a scenario. We'll probably talk about an external turbulence.
Yeah, we'll start with external turbulence. Let's look at some real life examples of how you can deploy Turbo to your rescue. For example, let's say you're confronted with an external turbulence. Let's take the example of AI, right? Which is the changing the landscape of how organizations are operating today, right? And it's both a challenge and an opportunity for managers, right? So now, how do you as a manager confront and use Turbo when you have your head, let's say you're an operations manager or you're a digital product owner, right? Or you're a call center head, right? And suddenly there are whispers, right? Oh, AI replace our jobs, right? So how do you confront and you confront this enigma by using Turbo as your toolkit?
So, how are we going to use the turbo model in this context? T, distract trends. Stay ahead of the learning curve. Listen to podcasts, including the 5M. Attend conferences and webinars. Learn how AI and other trends are improving and changing the landscape of not just your own industry, but also across industries. So, signaling to the leadership that you are future ready.
Gautam, you talked about T. Let me talk about the U in Turbo, right? Which is understanding the impact, right? In these scenarios, right, there is a new technology and we know that this is coming in. Some managers could choose, that, oh, I'll follow the legacy process. I will not change, right? But that's going to be very counterproductive for your existence in the organization. And, you will not be seen as an early adapter of the new technology. Rather, please evaluate the impact of this technology on your processes. For example, if you're the operations head or your contact center head, how can AI add value to your processes? Instead of waiting for other external team members to come in and explain to you, I'd rather advise that please look into which areas of your operations or which areas of your work are going to be enriched by AI, what is its ROI, and how it's going to improve the productivity, right? So please understand those impacts. That's very, very important for you to understand it yourself rather than an external team member or an external department coming in, and showing you the mirror. It's important that you have an awareness of this yourself. So that's the understanding impact part of the term.
Interesting. The next part is all about responding proactively. An element of the turbo impact is all about reacting proactively. It's as simple as taking out some time, building a use case, building a business case around that, and showing how AI can support your function. This shifts the narrative from AI will replace me to I'm leading the AI transformation for my unit. The part is all about responding proactively. It's about changing the narrative of, not just being threatened by a new technology, by saying AI could replace me, but rather changing the narrative and talking about the fact that within your team or within your function, you are leading change, you are leading the future, you are being future ready. And it's not just about your own team, it's about collaboration. Along the way, you take the right set of people or the teams along you. That leads to multiplication of success, and that's what leads to more collaborative efforts, confrontational, territorial discussions. The R of the turbo is to respond proactively. Here's how we do it: build an actual business case around AI. Understand the use cases that are actually changing the landscape in your function. This way, you are leading change rather than being scared of the future. At the same time, let it not just be about yourself. It's all about ticking the right boxes and aligning with the right partners. So rather than having confrontational territorial discussions, it's all about collaboration. Probably you could go to your stakeholders and discuss, say that I have probably two, three ideas that I have. Why don't we work towards getting an ROI around this and see what budgets we could you understand and make where you understand dynamics beyond what is just presented in meetings. And I think that's where optics get actually framed. So this, I think, we would have to delete.
Correct. Yeah.
Suddenly,
Just got to delete. Optics से बहुत बात मत करो. So, so building alliances not only facilitates a more collaborative and more successful outcomes in your work, but is also a safety net for your future, right? So, let's say when there are turbulences and there are situations where you could be redundant, there could be these scenarios that as middle managers with long innings, right, middle managers are going to face. uh, these becomes our relationships, our stakeholders whom we have managed well, and the partnerships and the friendships we have built in the organization is what becomes your insurance when you are faced with redundancies or kind of negative situations at your workplace. This becomes probably kind of a flight for your next uh, job or your next phase, right, in your work life. So it's very, very important, trust me. It is often underrated, never discussed, but as a middle manager, building these relationships, building these partnerships are very critical not only for your current workspace, but also for your future uh, opportunities that maybe you'll have to explore at some point in your career. So, if I understand, this is a necessary condition, but still not a sufficient condition. You really need to have those kind of alliances, but then hoping that they will actually 100% all the time have your back may also not be the case. So, which is why the last part of Turbo is extremely important, and that's all about owning your own career narrative, your story amongst the chaos. And what will really help is facts. Look at numbers, look at impact. So external turbulences or internal turbulences, whatever the case, a middle manager is at the crossroads, right? So Turbo offers you a perfect playbook for you to navigate these turbulences and emerge victorious, right? Tracking trends, understanding impact, responding proactively and not just reacting, uh, building alliances, which is a very critical pillar in the turbo block, and owning your career, right? So follow these 5 steps, the turbo, to remain successful, to remain calm and graceful when faced with turbulences. And remember, it's your ownership. You need to own this turbo. And yes, it is a playbook from our side, but you need to make it your own. Remember, alliances are more than just relationships, they are your insurance in the face of a storm. Right? So please do not burn bridges, build relationships to keep sailing. Absolutely, Sunanda. It cannot be undermined how important this turbo for you could be a true lifeline when it comes to managing and navigating turbulence. Make it your own your narrative. There could be days where things just don't work out. Hey, take a chill pill, sleep over it, and start again. We're here with you. We'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think about this topic? It's very pertinent. And these are practical challenges that we really want to have discussions about. And that's probably the reason why we are doing this entire endeavor. So do like, share, subscribe, and comment. And we'd love to hear from you. And well, share this episode with someone, with a middle manager who needs a little turbo today. Please don't forget to share this episode with the middle manager who needs a little turbo today. This is us signing off from 5M Talks, where we talk about making middle management meaningfully mindful. See you.